So we present to Ben. Now, by that time, because I'm starting to get these numbers, I'm starting to see, okay, Netflix might not be such a bad idea. So we present to Ben, and then everyone gets their turn, like all the other producers, everyone presents. So, I mean, I don't know the exact feedback that people were given, but for us, we were told, when you're done with your first cut, share.
Oh.
Yeah. So Ben told us, yeah, when you're done with your first cut, share. So he asked us, like, how long do you think it will take? We gave him a rough timeline. So
he's not making any promises. He's just telling you, hey, I'd like to see your first cut.
Yeah. So, so months later, we sent the first cut. But before we get there, let me go back to. So we leave the presentation with Ben. Now we go back to our normal lives of trying
to pay bills.
Trying to pay bills.
And debt.
Luckily, at some point there, I think sometime in August, the endorsement deal that we had been chasing for Nyash, the first payment was done, and at least I got a chunk of money, and I was able to pay off some people. But sorry, before that, I took my car to a Shylock.
What?
I took my car to a Shylock, and I could only get, I think, 280K.
What?
At that point. By the time I paid it back, it was a total of almost 400K. But what that 280K helped me, there was a bunch of people who used to really give me pressure. So as soon as I got that money, I paid off those people. So now back to the example of, let's say that I owe the two of you. So I owe the two of you 100K. Now, when I get 100K, I have to look at the two of you and figure out, either I give each of you 50K and you both relax, but I still have two people who will still be calling me for their balances, or I pay you the whole 100K.
I get one of
them. One call. So I would get money and
that's
just
management.
Look at, I would just look at who gives me so much grief that I just need to pay off. There was a time, as part of me trying to make chums, that year, 2019, July, the 4th of July weekend, there was a gig for Nyash. But wait, I've jumped something. We'll come back to it. That year, 4th of July, there was a gig for Nyash that he was called for in the US. And so I went with him. Now, when you're going for a gig in the US, and by that time, because of having gone with him for gigs in 2017, 2018, and I think those both years I think went twice, and then 2019, by virtue of those gigs and by virtue of I'm the one who used to post stuff about him on social media, when you're going for a gig in the US, ukiingia ndege, you post so that the guys who have to buy tickets for the gig in the US waone msanii anakam. Now for me, I'd gotten to that level where
if you post,
even me, I post, then anakam. So on this particular day, it just so happened that I posted, and I also posted a photo with him while we were at the airport. I think this was one of those flights where we were going through Dubai, either Dubai or Amsterdam, like one of the stopovers. And when I switch on my phone, just going through social media, I see one of the crew members has put a post without naming me, but I knew it was me. Oh, ameenda state una pesa yetu. That time I'm thinking, you know how this money I'm going to earn
is for you.
Like I'm like, okay, sawa, I owe you money na nimekaa nayo, but I'm trying to make money to pay, So anyway, so The part that I jumped was,
Let me ask you, in debt of how much?
at that time I think it was about 5-6 meter. 5-6 meter. I can't remember because at least it kept on changing because I kept on paying slowly.
But at a peak, maybe 5 meter.
At a peak, I think it was like 7 meter. Yeah. Because you see, by the time now, remember, some of the people who are giving me money, they were lending me. So even if they were giving me to pay off people, I still owed them. Yeah. So at a peak, I think it was like 7 meter. So just to backtrack a bit, because now we are talking about July.
2019, huh?
Yeah. In 2019, my relationship with Nyash changed. But, and I'll insist on this. And I'll tell you why I'm insisting on this. It's very important. My relationship with him changed in that our views started becoming different. Like just how he'd view something and how I'd view something started changing.
Going different directions.
Yeah, we're going in different directions. So we had a bit of strain in terms of like how to deal with some issues. So there were times like when we'd really argue, but from a business point of view. And one of the things that I'll always respect Nyash about is we'd sit down and we'd argue about something. Then when we are done with the business argument, then he would tell me, nasikia ubao, tukakule wapi? Do you get that?
That separation.
Yes.
There's business.
Yes.
I'm arguing. This is Nyashinski arguing with. We're arguing about the brand.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
We're not arguing. We don't hit each other.
Yes. So it got to a point now in April where now we were both insisting on like, no, this is the way to do it. No, this is the way to do it. So then I don't know how it happened. We actually just, you know the way you say agree to disagree? We actually now agreed to part ways. So this happened in April 2019.
Okay.
So we parted ways, but even that particular day that we parted ways, we still had a lot of conversations because at that point we met physically and then we parted ways and then we still had a lot of conversations about, okay, there's this deal that was pending, there's this that was, how do we handle this? So he'd tell me something like, so that we don't spoil that.
Just finish this one.
Yes, because you had created a rapport, just finish that one. This one, I'll tell you how to do it. This one just finish, you know. So it went on like that. Remember now, this is, I'm telling you, April 2019. And this gig for the US was July 2019 because it was 4th of July. Now, I still had my valid visa to the US. Now, his new team at that point didn't have visas. So it was an easy conversation of, yo, Fakii, unaweza enda na yeye?
Because you've not burnt bridges.
Yes, we've not burnt bridges.
You've just parted business ways.
Yes. And in fact, even the call for Stato at that point still came to me. So I handed it over to the team and the team came back to me because we used to have weekly meetings where, like, say, I would be briefing them on, okay, this is how I do this is how I used to do this.
So were you handing over to Joy Washira, who is his new manager?
Yes, I was handing over to Joy Washira, and now she had a team. She was putting together a team. Okay. So I was also just showing them that, okay, this is how I usually do. These are the assets, you know, just transferring even music, videos, contracts, nini, all those. Telling them that now, like giving them every month, these are the things you have to do. Every quarter, these are the things you have to do. You know, just This is how the Nyash business works. Yes. So in the middle of all that, like even Nyash would be in the meeting. Like we were boys still at that point. I mean, we still are. But
you were his best man.
Yes.
we need to throw that in because I know this sounds like some nice udaku to some people.
Yeah.
But I love it because it is what you're talking about is how to end business amicably.
Yes. Yes. And funny enough, we're still in business right now.
But just not for the Nyash brand.
For the Nyash brand.
Okay, hold on. We'll come back.
We'll come to that.
So at this time, let me get this straight. First and foremost, the reason why you and Nyashinski have parted ways is because of business differences.
Yes.
It has nothing to do with his creative persona.
No.
Or him as a person.
No.
I'm just asking.
No.
One. Number two, it has to do with there's a certain way he wants business done, and you as his manager, there's a certain way you believe that the business should be done.
Yes.
This is the place you're not agreeing.
Yes.
And at this point, both of you agree, let's end this thing up.
Yes.
Where I'm not going to agree with you and you're not going to agree with me. Let's agree to disagree. And because of that, we can't go on forward. Let's agree now how we're going to begin the transition.
Yes.
Mina Toka.
Yes.
So, and part of the transition is we're going to bring in this person. Joy Washira comes in there. Now it's your job to do a proper handover.
But remember, Joy Washira had also been as part of the team in a slight way from before. She had always been around.
I get it.
From before.
So it was an
promoted.
Easy,
so it was an easy transition.
Yes.
It was a very easy transition.
I get it.
And so I'm telling you, we parted ways April 2019. Like I really have to insist on this point.
Yes.
But in July 2019, we went to the US together. Okay. And we had a good time. And for me at that point also, going to the US, apart from just being the one who had a valid visa at that point, was also important to me because I needed every single shilling I could make. So the money that I was...
a breather as well.
Yeah. The money I was being paid to do this gig, it was a welcome relief.
I get it.
You know, actually, to take it further, in February 2020, the year after, I'm still the one who went with him, who took him for a gig in the US, so that you see how beyond us parting ways, we were still doing stuff together.
Okay, I get it.
Now,
I know that because in March or in Corona 2020, I'm the one who did Nyashinski's live stream, but I was reported to Joy. Joy was
that
my
was
boss.
in April.
Yeah.
Yes.
For the Nyashinski live.
Yes.
Okay.
Now, 2019. So we've presented. We've presented to Ben. He's given us feedback. So we go back now to taking care of our parents. Then I think it was either that week or the week later. I think it was that Sunday. My mom-in-law, Betty's mom, passed away.